Welcome back, everyone. Lancescurv here. I want to tell you, after watching the looting, a bus being burned, and all of the rioting and craziness last night in Los Angeles, after the Dodgers won their 8th World Series, yeah, people get ecstatic and want to celebrate and want to scream out a little bit. And, you know, I have no problem with that. But it was really out of control. And for the most part, from my research and looking at it, most celebrations were peaceful. So I'm not going to run with this and say the whole of LA was off the chain of rioting. But it's that element that went that far that bothers me. And I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you all straight up. I'm glad and so happy to not be in America anymore. And I have no desire to come back. If I do, yes, but I'm not going to announce it, okay? I'm going to be incognito when that time comes. But when you pull yourself away from a place, a culture, a mentality, and you see it for what it is, it's terrible. Listen, if a baseball game can make people, or at least some people, get so crazy, because we know that all over the place, you know, there's other things going on and people get off the chain. So it's not, I'm not going to blame baseball, right? But could you imagine the drugs, the dysfunctions, the anger that comes out when you get wild? You're walking around frustrated because the economy's messed up. You're walking around frustrated because your girlfriend broke up with you. You're walking around, you know, you're confused sexually. There's a lot of things going on with people in America and all over the world, but it's just amplified. And social media fans of flames, right? It keeps things going. It keeps your mind locked into what others are doing, and it influences you. That's why they have the term social media influencer, which doesn't just have to be a person. But if a game can cause a certain amount of people to get crazy like this and out of control, where the LAPD had to be called in on a tactical level, then several days before the election, which has people running high emotionally, what will happen either way? This is what I'm trying to say. This is just a game, right? But what happens in politics, it affects all of our lives. You know, and we know that there's a shadow government, the powers we don't see, pulling the strings. We understand that. And we understand that they want Kamala, the puppet, to win, because she's a marionette puppet. She's ditzy. She appears to be a cokehead. Don't know. Haven't been there. But she can't leave that nose alone. The way she acts in some of those clips. Just an answer and everything in a spaced out way. If she's not high when she's in an interview, she acts high. So what is she behind closed doors? What is she on? You got President Biden biting kids' thighs. Did he miss by a few inches? Is that what he really wanted to do? Old freak. And I can't even call him a freak. A freak to me is a good thing. It's like you are advanced in what you like to do, and you're not hurting anybody. You're not imposing yourself on anybody. You're not violating anybody. You meet other people who are into what you do, and you're consenting adults. That's an okay thing. But behind closed doors, you do what you do. We all do what we do, whatever it is. Some of us wake up in the morning with smelly fingers, but why not him? He's got to bother people, touch people, rub on them, and they're mostly kids. Makes me wonder about the rumor about Washington and Hollywood and these elites with children. I gotta watch what I say. This is free flowing. I'm just thinking out loud. But what is it going to be? Is this a precursor of what we saw in LA for the whole country? Because how can you have two sets of people? When I say two sets of people, they say, what do you mean by that? Yeah, it could be black, it could be white, could be LGBTQ, could be this, could be that. Any race, any culture, any age, any sex. But if they can be so divided, you have one person speaking common sense who has already been in office, who's telling you the policies and the plan, but you have the other side who doesn't like the smear campaigns that they're receiving, but they go and call somebody Hitler. And these people run with it. And if you ask me, they're responsible behind those attempts on his life in some indirect way. Directly, but in a way that they're kind of hiding it. There's too much tension in the United States for something not to break. There's somebody out there with weaponry and a thought in their head, believing the lies that are put out there in the mainstream media, the so-called mainstream media, that really molds and controls the mindsets of the people. Either it's Trump or Kamala, Trump or Kamala. Unfortunately, somebody's going to lose their life over this. And they're going to try to steal the election. And it's going to keep people even more tense. It's already in motion. They've done so many things to Donald Trump. And it's not, I'm free flowing. I started out talking about this thing with the Dodgers in LA. But it's indicative of the tensions that is running across America. Maybe they wouldn't have been so explosive if this whole election frenzy wasn't going on. Maybe they needed this to work off some tensions in a violent way. Well, if that's how they work off their tensions and it came from that source, oh boy, we're in for a ride. November 5th. And again, I don't expect to wake up in the morning on November 6th and see that a result was there. I don't think so. Some event, or they're going to try to do something to distract and just not have a conclusive winner. But they will push her. Correct. I mean, let me correct myself. If she so-called wins by thievery, because what the polls are saying, no matter what poll it is, when you talk to the people, they're all talking about Trump. And for the people who came down on me because I spoke about Kamala Harris, their goddess witch, keep that same energy. I'm coming to look for you. I'm going to go down to my comment sections and all the smart-ass comments that you've made. You know she's losing. You know she's ditzy. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to send my family home and have her drive, and she's an extreme alcoholic and she's drunk right now and doesn't even know her eyes from her nose. How safe would you be? Do you want that ditzy woman with her finger on the red button? It's crazy. But listen, I have to share something right now because, like I said, this is not going to be long. I have to share something. I have to share these words. And I can't say who it is. They'll remain incognito, but they will know who they are because what they shared with me is quite profound. And we expect so much good to come out of America. Yes, there are a lot of good people in America. Yes, kudos to all of you. My heart goes out to you. I do not hate you. It's the system that I dislike. And I've said this so many times before. I'm going to read something that was, and I know she doesn't mind me reading it. I'm going to keep it, discreet. But here it is. If we think about it, another revelation which has been in our face all this time, so it doesn't seem that profound, but looking at it a bit deeper, it is profound. And that is the realization that this whole nation, meaning America, that they call America, was built on evil. It literally was built on the principles of Satan, which are to steal, to kill, and to destroy. According to the Bible, that is literally the devil's playbook. All right? Yeah, I just got a text that distracted me. Okay, cool. Steal, kill, and destroy. America was literally built on those three principles. They killed and destroyed the native, indigenous people. They stole Africans to come be slaves and build up their economy, which made America great. And then again, they destroyed those slaves' names and culture and history. They stole all the good history in the world and put their name on it. They destroyed all the countries they go into in the name of helping them, but they are just there to steal, plunder, and pillage. America's greatness is literally built on Satan's principles. Wow. You cannot look at any period of America where they were not involved on a countrywide scale of stealing, killing, and destroying. This is one nation under a demonic God that is God with a little g. We're not talking about the real God. And the pledge of allegiance is demonic. We're only supposed to pledge allegiance to God, but their very first words are, I pledge allegiance to the flag, right, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible. That teaches and practices division, with liberty, enslavement, and justice, which means injustice, upon all. That's the real deal. So when we see things like this erupt, like a person who ate too many donuts the night before, but they had a photo shoot the next day, or a wedding to go to where they had to take lots of pictures, and now you have to pay for eating those donuts with a pimple right on your nose. How do you fix that? America is a sick system. And all of these, not only decades, but centuries of them being the blight on the world. Yes, there are wars all over the place. But when you see something like this happen, where people, in the name of celebrating, they're burning buses, they're throwing things, they're getting happy off of this. What kind of inbred, dysfunctional people are there coming up now? And these weren't older folks, these were younger folks. What kind of pleasure do you get out of this? Unbelievable. I'm glad I'm not there in that madness, because you see, we see it as, oh, well, they're younger and they're active. No, it's a spiritual issue. And it's a mental issue. And it's an emotional issue, which erupts in the physical. So they're worrying about January 6th or whenever it is that it comes up when things change over. You don't have to worry about that. Something's going to jump off. There's just too much tension. Something is going to be that thing that clicks and everything's coming down like dominoes. Now, do I want that? No, I don't wish that on anybody. I'm just telling you what I see. The tension, the weird ideologies and dysfunctions, and so ready to shoot people, so ready to fight. America is not unified. America is not built on anything good. So you can't cover it up. That's like the alcoholic after a night of drinking all night. He's half tired. He's got he doesn't have a hangover yet. He's still drunk. And instead of going home to wash up and try to do something because he knows he's going to fall asleep and not make it to work, he goes straight to work and he puts a breath mint. He puts a peppermint in his mouth. And the overwhelming feeling and stench of alcohol in his system, not even just in his mouth, but all down. He's sweating it out. It's in his gut. It's in his pores. Staggering. Bloodshot eyes. It's evident what you've been doing. And with America, it's evident what you've been doing. But anybody who speaks this way, oh, you're against America. We're so good. We're the saviors of the world. And you know that the mainstream media works along with that narrative to brainwash you and make you think that they're the good guys. I'm not saying a lot of the people who don't know are bad in America. No, I'm not saying that. And what can you say now for those folks? Why don't you go to Africa? Well, I'm here now. And I got my popcorn and I'm watching. And I hope nothing happens to anybody. But for me, I'm so glad that I don't have to receive the wrath of what all has been done. You see, me in America, this is how I felt. I felt like I was on a street corner, standing next to a guy that I went to school with, elementary school, middle school, junior high school, high school. I know him real good, but we live different lives. And what do I mean by that? Well, this guy's out there selling drugs. This guy's out there pimping girls, prostitution. He stepped on a few toes. And there's a hit out on his life. So why would I be so stupid to stand on a street corner? I don't care how many goons he has that are strapped. You can be anywhere and pop off and hit somebody. And as I well know, most people don't even know how to shoot a gun and aim it right. They talk about their gunman and they don't have a damn clue on how to shoot right. And if I stand next to this person and it's his time to go or his time to get hit, I might get hit because I'm in close proximity to him. But if you look at it, I'd be foolish. So that's one of the reasons why. One of the reasons, I have some common sense reasons why, but that was the icing on the cake. I don't want to be there when stuff jumps off. This martial law potentially, or whatever it may be, because America is wide open. There's so much that can happen. I'm not a doomsayer. I'm not like that old man who is holding up a Bible on Main Street talking about the end is coming, the end of the world, the end of the world. No. But I will say on my old channel many years ago, and since I came online, the things I was talking about, I'm going to give myself some props. I think I was 85% correct when I saw the direction that the United States was going in, but people called me crazy. Now look at the world that we live in. Ever since 9/11 happened, things have changed drastically. And guess what? That was 23 years ago, almost a quarter of a century. When they look to move and change society and change the narratives, it's just like gentrification. When you see gentrification in the so-called hood, when you see that little white lady, that little blonde with the poodle, getting up 5 o'clock in the morning to walk her poodle and go for a jog and run past the drug dealers that are there, and you see that Starbucks right next to the weed spot, then you know your time is coming soon. And they took their time and they did this, and they used social media to brainwash us. They gave us the smartphones to brainwash us, and we're sucking in all the propaganda wholesale. Isn't that something? And they're watching us on these phones also. Why do you think they made it where you can't take the batteries out anymore? You can just charge it up. Or you can take the batteries out, but not normally. You gotta dismantle your whole phone, and then what? It's easy to charge it up and then bring it into a place to get a new battery. Because they want those phones on constantly. Even when they turn them off, they are watching all of us. Oh yeah, call me crazy. Call me crazy. If I told you about AI 20 years ago, you'd think I'm crazy. What's coming, and what are they engineering, and what do they have for the control of the people to enslave us? Oh, we live in a free country, we'll never be enslaved. But depends on what you think enslavement to be, right? Because when you're hungry, you'll do just about anything to get something to eat. When they control your cash in a cashless society, you'll do just about anything. Trust and believe. And there's so much information that I'd like to share and say, but not right now. They are watching everyone, and they want to bring in this new order. And they're lying on Trump, talking about, oh yeah, 2025 agenda, whatever have you. You better be watching out for the 2030 situation. Forget the 2025. And for those who want to vote for Kamala Harris, do you know who that witch really is? You need to listen to Candace Owens. And people say, I don't listen to her. Rah, rah, rah. Well, don't cuss the messenger. She's done excellent work to reveal what Kamala Harris is all about. I don't even have to say it. Just Google Candace Owens and look at the things that she's been putting out there. I don't care. If I want pizza and I have the pizza delivered to my house, I don't care if it's a fruitcake delivering it. You know what I mean by that. Can't say I said anything wrong. Or you talk about this and talk about that. It's almost like the cartoon that I saw many years ago. It was a still shot. It was like just a drawing, a little sketch. And it was a Klansman. They took his hood off, and he was in the process of having a heart attack, and he was wheeled into an operating area, and it was a black man, and this guy wanted to live. What you gonna do? Don't knock the messenger. Don't knock the person who's bringing you truth, because as we well know, truth is the new hate speech, and we're so manipulated and so off these days. We're so out of ourselves. You know, I read something a little while ago. I'm always picking up information and processing it. It said we have to live in the moment. We're living now in the moment, but too many times we're thinking about the future in the wrong way. Yes, we're supposed to plan for our future. We're supposed to be methodical about that and lay out our plans. We're supposed to have goals. We just can't have goals in the present. Yeah, what you do now is going to affect you in the future. And then too many of us are thinking in the past, wow, she broke up with me. Or he gave me a baby and never took care. Well, that's the past. Learn from it. Heal from it. I'm not saying that people are not traumatized. No, take the necessary steps to heal from it, because if you don't get over this trauma and heal from it and put it in its proper place and grow from it, you'll be no good in the present, which will leave you where you cannot do anything for the future. No, I am right here on this day, in this moment. Well, Lance, how can you make so much content? Because I make content in the moment. I'm not sitting here, well, next week I don't know if I can do this. No, I'm here now. Talk. And that's the least of what I do in my day. I got up this morning to talk for an hour. Freestyle. I can take a phrase that's barely heard, flip it, and now it's daily word. Remember Follow the Leader with Eric B. and Rakim? You don't have to look so hard when it comes from within. And when I speak, it comes from within. I don't have to study to learn to know what I see. Like that old church lady with 3 teeth in her mouth and a 3rd grade education, she'll tell you everything that's going on in that church. I don't think it's right what pastor's doing with that young girl. You know what I mean? And she half blind too, but she sees everything. Use your discernment. Cultivate your discernment. It just might be the very thing that will save you in the present day. But our minds are so filled up with other people's thoughts, and we're manipulated. We're all puppets now, barking what we see online, because we don't have a mind of our own. We don't get into the critical thinking and breaking things down from our perspective. We don't do that. Most of us are zombies now, ready for the kill. Sheep being led to slaughter. It's very sad. Anyway, I don't want this to be too long. I just want to kind of share something like that. I like doing these on a short level. Wherever I am, I don't care where I am, if something hits me, I'm going to share it. Make sure to go to Lancescurv.com. That's where we share everything that we can't show on social media. I'm on every social media platform pretty much, but the emphasis now is on X. Lancescurv X on X. Not just Lancescurv on X, but Lancescurv X. After the E, or I'm sorry, after the V in Scurv, you put the X. Lancescurv X. On Twitter, aka X. All right? Reach out to me there. Follow me there. I'll follow you back. Reach me there. I'm very active there. A lot of things that I post on my X page, my Twitter page, that I'm thinking about, quotes, different things, and it all comes back to the site. But remain vigilant. Use your gift of discernment. We all have it. The more we indulge in the decadence is the more we dull the gift of discernment. So we have to be on point. Think like meerkats, right? You got eyes in the front of your head, but you can't see behind you. But when the meerkats get back to back with each other, they cover the whole space, 360 degrees. The problem is we all want to move alone, and especially as black people. Once you get yours, I don't care, I gotta get mine. No man is an island. But for those who want to act that way and be niggardly, go ahead and burn. Find your tribe, find the few people that think like you, that are willing to act and are really about putting in this work of ascension, because this level is not going to last forever. We will go to the next level whether we like it or not. Last time I checked, I didn't see anybody, oh, I'm 4,000 years old. Oh yeah, I'm 18,000 years old. No, we out of here. But while we're here, live in the moment, do the best you can, and garner and gain all of the wisdom that you can accrue, because it's going to help you to exist in this world and to thrive when the whole system comes down. Lancescurv out. Much love to you all. On to the next one. Peace.
Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.